Capability alone is not readiness. 7 signals define this edition: Claude Code permissions, MCP, identity and sampling, Inkling integration, Copilot metrics, DFlash host sync removal, HalfLife's data risk model, and OpenAI's economic scorecard. Together, they ask who can act, how systems are measured, and where evidence stops. Claude Code version 2.1.2.14 hardens automatic command approval across path rules, PowerShell, Bash, ZSH, remote sessions, and redirected daemon connections. A $allow rule now applies only below the current working directory, not same name folders anywhere. Bash commands above 10,000 characters always prompt. Anthropic fixed a PowerShell 5.1 bypass. Bash redirects fail closed when parsing differs. ZSH subscripts trigger review. Remote prompts wait for local confirmation. And Docker daemon redirects plus risky help. Man and file forms require approval. The permission analyzer is part of the security boundary. Better agreement with real shell behavior reduces accidental auto-approval. Teams should update, then retest, allow, ask, deny, hook, and remote session policies against representative commands. These are targeted release note fixes, not proof that every shell construct is safely modeled or that Claude Code is a universal sandbox. More prompts around long commands, redirects, remote sessions, and external daemon targets can be intentional. MCP Ruby SDK version 0.25 adds cross-app access and client-side sampling, expanding what Ruby clients can authorize and handle. Cross-app access implements SEP 990 through IDJAG and the JWT bearer grant. An on-sampling callback lets the Ruby client answer a server's model sampling request. The release rejects unknown or expired session notifications, handles initialized requests without identifiers, bounds client-side HTTP message buffering, and normalizes streamable HTTP response header names. Ruby can now participate more fully in multi-application workflows. Identity crosses an application boundary through a defined grant, while sampling remains under the client's model choice, logging, cost controls, and approval policy. This is SDK capability, not instant interoperability. Authorization still needs compatible identity providers, grants, scopes, servers, and clients. Sampling needs an explicit handler and policy. Nothing creates a default trust relationship. Inkling is moving from downloadable weights toward framework integration. NeMo Automodel and vLLM each merged main branch support, native distributed training, and a standardized NVFP4 serving path. NeMo adds an Inkling mixture of experts implementation, raw checkpoint conversion, and a MEDPICS fine-tuning recipe using Pipeline Parallel 8, Expert Parallel 32, and FSDP2. The PR reports 100 steps on 256 H100 GPUs and 122 focus tests. vLLM now uses standard model opt infrastructure for Inkling NVFP4, removing a duplicate parser and per-layer configuration path while preserving checkpoint-specific expert loading. A validation run on 4 B300 GPUs reported GSM 8K accuracy of 0.892 versus 0.895. This materially extends the model launch. Builders gain clearer paths for multi-node customization and standardized quantized serving, reducing bespoke conversion work and giving infrastructure teams concrete recipes to inspect before committing clusters. These are merged PRs, not packaged releases. NeMo still pins Transformers 5.12.1, where Inkling needs a compatible newer build, and validation omits MTP tensors. The vLLM numbers are correctness checks, not broad-speed evidence. GitHub's Copilot usage API now covers repository pull request activity and the standalone Copilot app in enterprise and organization reports. 2 daily endpoints report each repository's pull request created and merged by Copilot coding agent, plus reviews and suggestion counts from Copilot code review. Reporting previously stopped at organization and user levels. App reporting adds active users, sessions, requests, prompts, and token fields to 1-day and 28-day reports. These remain separate from other totals and return null when no app activity exists. Repository data shows whether agents are isolated or entering normal pull request flow. App fields also separate interactive use from coding agent, review, and IDE activity. Usage is not outcome quality. Pull requests, prompts, and token counts do not prove productivity or value. Access requires eligible roles and an enabled metrics policy. Teams still need quality, cycle time, incident, and cost measures before drawing ROI conclusions. SGLang merged a DFlash optimization that removes per-step host synchronization, letting the CPU queue the next decode step while current GPU work finishes. The PR replaces host blocking work with device-side or pre-planned operations. At concurrency 16, median launch lead moved from negative 51 microseconds to positive 19.1 milliseconds, and run-ahead fraction reached 0.995. The A/B test used Kimike 2.6 NVFP4, Tensor Parallel 8, 8B200 GPUs, and a 50,000 token prefix. Per user throughput improved 12.1% at concurrency 1, 13.3 at 2, and smaller amounts at higher tested levels. Inference speed is also a scheduling problem. Removing synchronization can keep accelerators fed without changing the target model. The PR reports GSM 8K accuracy unchanged at 0.965. This is an author-reported same-base comparison on one model, prefix, topology, and hardware stack. Acceptance length was 2.47 versus 2.51. The code is merged, not packaged, and other workloads may differ. Researchers at the University of Washington and the Allen Institute for AI study how adversarial public comments could enter pre-training data from sites an attacker does not own. Their HalfLife analysis validates posting only on simulated local sites. HalfLife separates whether a page is injectable, whether crawling captures the content, and whether extraction, deduplication, and quality filters retain it. A comment matters only if it reaches training data. The authors scanned 181,857 common crawl pages and found common signatures on 3.4%. Their main result estimates 0.13% end-to-end inclusion for the studied vector and pipeline. The lesson is provenance depth. Domain allow lists may miss attacker-controlled fragments inside legitimate pages. Controlled training also produced preference shifts, making content lineage, third-party attribution, and post-extraction inspection relevant security controls. 0.13% is not universal. Common crawl is a proxy, and production pipelines may differ. The authors did not attack live websites. They used simulated local sites. The paper does not show a deployed model poisoned this way. OpenAI Chief Financial Officer Sarah Fryer proposes useful intelligence per dollar, shifting attention from seats, active users, and token price toward completed work. The scorecard asks how much useful work gets done, what a successful task costs, how often AI gets it right, and whether each AI dollar buys more work at scale. Those are useful work, successful task cost, dependability, and value at scale. Cost includes compute, employee time, review, retries, and rework, divided by tasks meeting the quality bar. Dependability separates ready-to-use results from correction or escalation. Scale improves when completed work outgrows total cost while quality holds. For buyers, this is stronger than counting prompts or chasing the cheapest token. Teams must define success, include hidden labor, track correction and escalation, and compare the same workflow over time. This is OpenAI's vendor framework, not an industry standard, accounting rule, independent benchmark, or validated ROI metric. Organizations should set their own quality bars, include switching and risk costs, and seek independent evidence. Permissions must match shells. Protocols need identity boundaries. Open models need maintained integration. Adoption needs repository evidence. Inference needs system optimization. Training data needs provenance. And AI investment needs outcome accounting. Each change makes one layer more inspectable. Subscribe for the next AI industry briefing.